for joining me today. Today I'm going to show you how to do this fun chandelier style earring. We'll be forming some hoops with some metal and wire wrapping some beads. These are lightweight earrings. They're designed to be more of a longer earring that's just like a fun chandelier style. Here's a close-up. I'm going to lay these down so we can look at these a little bit better. And I'll go over each step, and then you can mix and match. So you can do different different color of wire if you want silver or gold, or you can do copper without adding patina. I'm gonna zoom in so you can see it a little bit easier. There we go. So we have a couple different steps we'll be using. I'm gonna put these off to the side. So we'll be using 26 gauge artistic wire brand wire, and this will be for the smaller stones that I'm using as a drop. If you have a larger hole in the stone, you can use 24 gauge. I'll also be using 22 gauge craft wire for the hoops. You can also use 20 gauge, which is a thicker wire, which will help support it better, but that will add a little bit more weight to the earring, so I'm using 22 gauge. I'll also be using the 9.5 millimeter wood mandrel or wood dowel from Artistic Wire brand as well. And all of these things are available on beadalon.com. So I'm starting first with the 22 gauge, and I'm going to cut 4 inches. And for this one, you want to put the mandrel in the center of the wire and crisscross your wire over the top. And you're going to have a meet in the middle like this. And this will be the start of your loop. You want to keep this open for right now. We'll be visiting that in a minute. And the next step is taking some 26 gauge wire in this case. And I'm going to cut off about 8 inches. I like to have a little bit of wire to work with in the event I need it, so I don't have to start over. And I'm using a 10 millimeter faceted drop stone, and I'm just going through the top here, and I'm going to wire wrap it in the briolette style. So I'm going to take my pliers and form a tall stem here, and then take the other side wire, and we're going to coil around the base of the first wire a couple of loops like so, and then cut off excess wire, and we'll pinch closed. Here we go. And you just want to have a couple of loops, enough to establish the wire. And when you do a briolette, you want to have the top of the wire over the top of the stone, like so, and not like off to the edge or bent weird. This will keep the stone hanging nice and straight down when you're using it as an earring. So next I'm going to form a loop with my round nose pliers over the top of the stone and a wire wrap down towards the middle. Now with a briolette, you can stop right there in the middle, cut off your excess wire and pinch it closed. For me, I like to keep going. It's just a preference. I like to have my wire a little bit thicker when I'm going around, and then I'll stop and cut off excess wire and pinch closed. So now I have one of my drops ready to go. Just have to get this wire in place. There we go. So now I'm going to revisit the loop I just made, and I'm going to drop this stone onto the wire loop like this. And the next step is we're going to wire wrap this closed, similar to the briolette. So I'm going to bend this wire up straight. Take this one over here, kind of rotate it around, and form some loops at the base of this stem as well. I'm just going to do a couple of them, and then cut off my excess wire and pinch closed. Now I'm going to top it with the stone. I'm using 5 millimeter turquoise. I just really like turquoise and citron together. I think they complement each other color-wise. And I'm going to form a loop at the top. And this is why you want to have longer wire when you're doing the hoop portion. That way you have room to wire wrap at the top and not be out of wire. Okay, I'm going to cut off my excess wire on this one and pinch closed. So for this one, for this pair of earrings, you want to do this 6 times. You'll need 3 for each earring side. So here I have 3 finished. And I'm going to put these kind of over here to the side. The next step I'm going to do is grab my 22 gauge again and form a loop, and we're going to combine these all together. So I'm going to cut off 4 inches here, repeat my earlier steps of forming a loop. I'm just going to leave this open and put it off right here. Now for the middle guy, I'm going to add a little bit of chain just to make a small dangle. And on this one, I'm using an open link chain. So it's a little bit easier to work with. I can just open it and I don't have to cut it or add jump rings or anything, like so. There we go. Get this off and then slide it through the loop I made and then close. So I'm going to have my earring here with the center a little bit longer than the ones on the side. So I'm going to grab the hoop I had off to the side here and go 1 for my outside. Grab the second one as my chain, so this one is on the inside. Grab the outside one. And here we go. So the main earring base is finished. So now I'm going to come back up here where my top is started, and again bend my wire up for a straight stem. Go back over this way and coil my wire back around a few times. And I want to make sure it's nice and flush too. There we go. And I'm going to go around a few times. For my loop. And cut off my excess wire. And then pinch the remaining wire closed. And then for this one, again, I'm going to add another blue stone. I'm using turquoise. This is 5mm, and wire wrap this closed. And this one is finished. Now here's one style. The other style I did with the other pair of earrings is I had dangles on there. But if you don't want the extra dangles, I wanted to demonstrate this one as well. So here's this style with just the hoops like this. Finished. Okay, so now I'm going to do the other style with the dangles. So again, I'm going to cut off 4mm, not 4mm, sorry, 4 inches of wire, and go around my dowel and shape it again. Crisscross here in the middle and put this off to the side. And grab my 26mm wire. Now, if you want to do it a different way, you can pre-wire wrap all of your stones. You don't have to do one at a time. You can have all these wire wrapped and off to the side ready to go, which would make things a little bit faster. I'm just trying to demonstrate one at a time. So again, I'm going to bend my wire up straight and make sure it's straight above my stone before I start wire wrapping, and hold it in place. Wire wrap around a couple times and cut off the excess wire. And then pinch it close. So I think what I'm going to do for this one is pause the video and wire wrap everything to get ahead and then demonstrate how to complete the top differently. So I'll be right back. Went ahead and finished the other one for this style. And you can see it's really, these are really pretty. Like they're super complementary of each other. And again, they're lightweight. They're just like a fun chandelier style to wear. I'm going to zoom in so you can see them better. So here's this style. And next I'm going to show how to do the one with the dangles on the top. But here's this one finished. And you just add ear wires when you're done. I'm not going to patina these ones. I'm just going to leave them like this. But the next one I'll demonstrate how to patina them with liver of sulfur. The next pair of earrings started and I've finished the 3 parts. I have my loop or hoop open and now I'm going to add some dangles. So I'm going to be using some 3 and 4mm lapis on this one. And for this style, you just want to have 3 stones on each side. Let's see how many I have done here before we close it. So just do 1, 2, 3, and then they'll just kind of dangle on the very top like that. So I'm going to wire up some more, and then we'll finish these earrings up. And I'm using 24 gauge ball head pins. And how I wire up my ball head pins is I put my bead on there. I have just a little bit of space between the top of the bead and my round nose plier. And I'm going to take my other pliers. I'm just going to kind of form a diagonal like this. And then I'm going to rotate my pliers and everything around. I'm going to come back over the top of the loop, over the top of the round nose plier tip here, and form a loop like this. The bead ones keep coming off like this. And I'm going to go back around the base. I'm going to wire up a few times and stop right over the top of my stone. And I like to leave a little bit of room so I can pinch the wire down. And I'm going to trim off excess wire here and pinch closed. And because I left a little bit of space, I can pinch this closed, and it tucks in nice and neat under the other wire loops, and it's not exposed and it won't catch on anything. And here we go. So you just want to do a couple more of those. So you have a total of 6 for each earring, 3 on each side. And I have these copper ball head pins available in my shop if you would like to buy some. Okay, so I finished 3 more, so I'm going to go to the other side of my earring and drop the 3 dangles. Like so. And now my earring is finished. Now, in order to get these to roll around, you'll probably need to rotate them this way, and then they'll hang out facing out this way. And so for this one, I'm going to go ahead and again, take my pliers, make my stem point up straight, hold the base of my hoop here, and then just wire up with a few coils around, and then cut off excess wire and pinch this closed. I'm going to add another bead at the top. I'm using 5mm faceted ones for the top of my little dangles here. And I'm going to form a loop for this one. And for these earrings, I was going to put these in some liver of sulfur. And I'll explain what that is here as soon as I'm done with this one. And cut off excess wire. And pinch closed. All right, so this earring is finished. So we have this design with the copper ball head pins, wrapped stones at the top as little dangles, and then the bottom part of our earring. And this one is fine. Just want to straighten this up a little bit. Okay, and now we're going to form a hoop and finish this one. So again, I'm cutting 4 inches of 22 gauge wire. And I'm going to start my hoop loop and slide my charms on. I'm putting my chain 1 in the center. Oop. Just want to get one piece of chain, not all of them. There we go. And the other side. And we're going to leave this open. We're going to add our dangles on this one. So I'm going to wire up some more stones and drop those on. I finished both earrings, and the next step is I would like to antique the copper metal with liver of sulfur patina. And since this is raw copper, you can add it to a chemical that will change the color. So you could do a variety of colors depending on what chemicals that you use. You can order Jack's patina online, and that does the green patina or gold, copper, bronze. It just depends on what you would like. Liver of sulfur just darkens sterling silver and raw copper, possibly raw bronze or brass. Sorry, raw brass. and it is a toxic chemical. The smell is made to let you know it's being used. It will smell like rotten eggs. You clean up with soap, water, and baking soda will neutralize it. It is toxic. It needs to be handled according to the warning label on the bottle. So you'll want to follow directions if you decide to use it. If not, you just leave your earrings plain with whichever kind of metal choice that you have. But for these ones, I'm going to go ahead and antique them. And so how I use it is with hot water in a bowl with just a small drop of solution with a lot of water, and you let your item sit in the solution water for maybe a minute, and it will be a dark yellow color, and as these change, they will turn dark brown. By that point, they're finished. You'll pull them out of the solution and wash them with soap and water. And when they're done, they'll have a dark look similar to this. And then when I'm finished having them in the patina, I take a polishing cloth and I'll just go over the top and polish it like so. And that removes some of the darkened patina and makes it shiny with a slightly darker look on the copper. And to preserve this, you can add museum wax over the top, which will keep the color and will limit tarnishing over time. So this is a patina copper and this is the raw copper look. So there's a slight difference. So I will do that, and then I will be finishing these up. And again, when I'm done with the patina, I just use polishing cloth and go back over it, and they'll look similar to this color, and add ear wires, and you're finished. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me, and thank you so much for watching my videos. Thank you for liking and subscribing. I really appreciate it. Again, here's a finished one. And you can find me on Pinterest, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. And here's the other style. You can find me online at andriabieberdesigns.com, and you can send me an email with any questions you may have, or you can send me a message on one of my social media platforms. Also, you can find me on Facebook with my group. It's called Andria Bieber Designs Bead Chat, where you can join and make friends, ask questions, post your own jewelry creations, and just have fun hanging out with us in a group. And thank you so much for watching my video, and have a great day.